Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're studying about the home of the brave, and we're using the Star-Spangled Banner as our key verses to go into this. And the fourth verse says, "Oh, thus be it ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made us and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. The Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave." And we're raising the question, are we the home of the brave? Are we still willing to stand for the basic core principles and values that this nation was founded on? You can read it in the Declaration of Independence. You can read what we say, that we are endowed by our Creator with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are a few of the inalienable rights that were granted to us by God. And they were standing up against a power that said, no, we're going to take those rights away from you. You're not free. You don't have liberty. You don't have these things, and we're going to prove to you that do, and we're going to take that away from you. You know, America is kind of in that situation today. There's a lot of people that want to take away our liberty. They want to take away our freedom to own property, our freedom to move about as we desire. There's a lot of places that are just, and individuals, they want to take that away from us. And they're beginning to be more open about it. They're actually beginning to say, we want to take away and control the means of productivity. Well, what does that mean? It means they're going to control the things that create things, that manufacture things. They're going to take over the places that sell those things. Oh, that could never happen in America. Do you remember a few years ago, this was even before COVID, when they had a push on to make electric cars. And the federal government took over GM, and we've called it Government Motors ever since then, but they took over General Motors, and they controlled the production, and they told them, you will produce a car that was already out of date, but they forced them to produce the Chevy Volt. The Chevy Volt got 40 miles a charge, and at the time, other cars were getting 120 miles a charge. But the government forced them to make this car because they wanted General Motors to produce an electric car. But they didn't stop there. They got rid of over half the dealerships across the nation of General Motors that sold their cars, Chevys and Buicks and Cadillacs and the other cars. They took over, got rid of many of the places where they sold the cars. And they said, well, they've got too many dealers and it's costing us too much money. No, that's how you sell things. But they took over the stores that sold General Motors cars. After they took them over, then they reissued grants for a number of places, but they reissued the grants to the loyal servants of the president at the time, to his cohorts. They were able to open stores, but they were taking them away, prosperous stores that had a good reputation in the community. They shut them down and gave them all to their friends. And you say, well, that was just one incident, but that shows the hearts of many people, that they want to take over not just production, they want to take over the selling of the products that are produced. This is what Nazism is really all about. Nazism is basically it is socialism, but Nazism is where we control the productivity. You still own the company, but we will tell you what to produce, and we will tell you how to sell it and what prices to sell it at. It's total control of the government over the manufacturing as well as the selling of individual products. And people are not afraid to do this, and they're openly saying it today that this is what we want to do. And in this, we stand with the fourth stanza of the Star-Spangled Banner. This is our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. And the question is, are we still brave enough to go against the flow of what appears to be public opinion, at least in the news media and several government officials? Are we still willing to stand up and say, no, we will not surrender our liberty. No, we will not yield to these things. And why? Because in God is our trust. This isn't just a man idea, this is a God idea. And if we will not defend a God idea, then what will you stand for? If we say we trust in God, if this is our national motto, it's time to trust in God, to let Him be our head, to let Him be our ruler, to let Him be our king, and follow after Him, because He's the one that has created this nation. As Barack Obama famously said, you did not build this. And in a lot of ways, we did not build America, but we yielded to God, and we let God build the United States of America. And it's still being built, because we're still reclaiming our freedoms, and we're still discovering what the Declaration of Independence really means to a people whose trust is in God. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.